while I just sailed the waters and enjoyed the fruit of my labor. Being single with no kids allowed me a lot of time to do whatever it was that I wanted. Aside from work, the thing that occupied the bulk of my time was the Millionaire Boys Club. It was an organization that I founded for men that looked like me and had M's in the bank. Other people had their stuffy country clubs and their elite organizations that didn't just let anybody in. And I wanted that for myself. A place where black men could network, interact, socialize, and not feel out of place. I founded the MBC 2 years ago, and we were at 26 members. 26 black men of all ages, sizes, and hues that were self-made millionaires. There was a membership fee. To be a member required a one-time fee of $15,000 and a monthly fee of $500. One of the biggest perks that came with being a part of the MBC was that it came with unlimited access to my lounge, Millionaire's Cove. Millionaire's Cove was a quaint lounge that had some of the most beautiful women in Diamond Cove, North Carolina working there. The finest cigars, premium alcohol, and delicious food could all be found in the Cove, along with televisions mounted above the bar, several VIP rooms where men could receive dances from topless women on certain days, and there was even a sauna and an indoor pool. The employees were tipped generously by the members of the lounge, but since members could come in every damn day if they wanted and eat and drink for free, I had to gain revenue from the Cove somehow. So a few times a month, I opened it up to be booked for private events. Celebrities and affluent people were on a waiting list, all eager to have bachelor parties, business brunches, engagement parties, etc. in my elite establishment. That was the only time Millionaire's Cove was ever open to the public, and it wasn't a cheap place to get into. An NBA player had paid me $22,000 a few weeks ago to rent the space out for 5 hours for a bachelor party. That $22,000 earned him access to my staff, my establishment, alcohol, food, cigars, and edibles from my dispensary, which was another one of my business ventures, legal marijuana. Spring was in the air, and the slight breeze that I felt while pushing my newly purchased motorcycle down the streets of Diamond Cove gave me an immense feeling of euphoria. I decided to stop by Millionaire's Cove and have a cigar and a glass of scotch. Of course, I wouldn't overdo it with the drinking, not while I was on a motorcycle, but the day called for a celebration. Me treating myself was a very frequent occurrence. I was so determined to make it on my own and not have to forever ride my father's coattails that during the first year of me starting my company, I did the very bare minimum when it came to spending money. I didn't even spend the money that I had in my bank account that came from working for my father's company while I was in college. I didn't take any vacations. I didn't purchase anything that wasn't a necessity. When I got to a point where I could sit back, relax, and be proud of my accomplishments, my first purchase was a 6,000 square foot home that boasted 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a theater room, home office, and a pool. That year, I made a list consisting of 10 career goals and 5 personal goals, and I met each and every one of them. In my father's eyes, I may have been a little lazy because I chose not to work 16-hour days. In my mother's eyes, I was a little rebellious because I liked to ride motorcycles, I wasn't interested in marriage, and I wasn't working on kids. In my eyes, life was perfect, and I deserved to live on my own terms. If that meant purchasing motorcycles, then chilling at a lounge in the middle of the day, eating lamb chops, drinking overpriced alcohol, and puffing on cigars, that's what it was then. When I first entered the lounge, I was greeted by a citrusy scent, but that was soon overpowered by the smell of cigars. I carried everything from Arturo Fuente Opus X cigars to Cohiba Spectre. I nodded my head at David. David was sitting at a table near the entrance with his laptop in front of him on the table eating lunch. He was a 50-year-old lawyer with his own practice. A few years ago, he defended a high-profile celebrity in a murder case and got him off. That alone made David one of the most sought-after attorneys in the city. At the bar was Cannon. Cannon was watching the highlights from the previous night's basketball game while nursing a glass of bourbon. Cannon was into producing movies and TV shows, and he also dabbled in photography and music videos. In Millionaire's Cove,